Welcome back to Turning Hard Times to Good Times. I'm your host, Jay Taylor, and I'm really pleased to have with me my friend and partner, Chen Lin. And Chen has been on this show a number of times before, not often enough. I might add we should have him on more often because he comes up with some really stellar investment ideas. Thanks for joining me again today, Chen.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate the opportunity.
Always good to have you with me, and I want to ask you before we get on to anything else. We're asking the question today on today's show. Investing in 2016, is it time to give up on gold? Now, Chen, I wished I'd have followed your advice going back a couple, 2-3 years ago and lightened up significantly on gold and followed some of your investment ideas because some of them have done extremely well, especially the biotech sector. I want to ask you about some of that, but just give us your thoughts on gold right now. Is 2016 a turnaround year, or are we going to have to wait a little longer? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I did a lot of thinking, especially during the holiday. I gave out the outlook for 2016. I've written outlook, detailed what I'm thinking. I believe the gold mostly likely bottom around 2017, okay? But I gave myself some room, maybe, a year earlier, a year late. There's many reasons behind this. One of the reasons, if you compare all the bear market of gold, okay, usually it's 5 to 8 years. 5 to 8 years. You see 1987, 93, 1996, 2001, even 1980, 80, 85. All these about 5 to 8 years, and then 2017 will be 6 years of the bear market, 6 years, okay? And then you look at all the cycle, I put in my outlook too. Even the Fed is right, I do not know. Even it's in their own word, they will stop raising interest rates in 2018. Okay, that's even they are right. Okay, they said they will normalize it at 19, which I do not know whether they are right or not. But so maximum this dollar rally, which really was killing the gold price, won't last until probably 2018 will be finished. And then even when you finish, traders usually want to be ahead of the game, right? So, 2017 looks about right. And then you look at the gold production, right? Gold production has been going up. Despite of all the gold going down, because exactly as you mentioned in many times in your gold show, the gold in other currency are strengthening. So there's a lot of gold miners. All these mining companies going out of business. There are a lot of people looking for jobs, so they mine gold. So the gold mining has been going up, okay? But from what I see, 2017 will likely be the peak of the gold production. So there's a few things pointing to that around that. I'm more a trader, right? We discussed, my goal is to make money for myself, my family, and my subscribers. So back to 2012, I told my subscriber to underweight in gold. Right? I remember I went to a conference, and one subscriber confronted me, say, "Okay, Chen, do you want to play the Moses and then lead us to all the way out of gold?" And I said, "No, I'm not. I was just thinking there's too much hype in gold miner at that time, 2012, or almost 4 years ago. Too much hype. I feel the gold likely has peaked. I do not know for sure. And then I feel, it's time to underweight it. And then we wait for the better time. And I've been watching over again in past 3-4 years. I feel pretty comfortable. We are getting close to the bottom of gold."
Well, I could say that you did very well in getting out in 2012. 2011, of course, was the peak, but 2013 was when gold really took a big hit down. And so to escape that carnage, kudos to you for that, Chen. But, for those investors, listeners out there that may not be completely familiar with Chen, he's a very unique stock picker. He sort of goes on investment themes, and somehow he's able to find ideas and sectors to invest in, and he's one of the first, if not the first, out there to do so. So a couple of examples that come to mind since I've known Chen and have been working with him. There was an earthquake in Chile a few years back, and many people thought, well, it's going to be the copper mines that benefit, the copper price, I should say, because Chile is known for its copper production. Chen said, no, it's going to be paper pulp. And so he went out and bought paper pulp producers, Canadians and others, and did very, very well with that. He had the insights because of his knowledge of increasing demand for paper pulp products in China, and just using his good sense. Farmer Mac is another example that stands out in my mind. During the financial crisis, Freddie Mae, Fannie Mae, and Farmer Mac all were taken down hard by the markets. But Farmer Mac, Chen figured out and knew with his research that Farmer Mac was not having problems. It's farmers were paying their loans, whereas homeowners were not paying their loans, and so Chen saw an opportunity to go in and buy and did extremely well, taking a long position in Farmer Mac. Now, Chen, your latest idea, one of your latest ideas that I've seen along the same lines is one for clean energy. And specifically, you've identified an opportunity in lithium. Talk to us a little bit about your thesis for lithium right now.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jay. Thanks for all the compliment. The lithium, it's a story. Basically, it's a commodity space. Commodity has been bad word, in the past many years. I mean, nobody want to touch commodity. So my feeling is, if commodity would bottom first will be demand driven, right? Because nobody really invests in commodity anymore. Nobody looking for mine, nobody looking for deposit. All the mining company going under, right? So it's first. To bottom, I feel would be some demand driven. Lithium is a very unique situation, right? Because China has this huge pollution. You said there's the smog. I mean, and then the Chinese government they are starting to mandating their zero emission car, which is electric car. That's Tesla, right? Each Tesla about 10,000 cell phone of battery, lithium battery. So there's a huge shortage of lithium in China right now. Lithium price about quadrupled in the past a few weeks. Okay, it just like that. It's explosive. And then there's no relief inside, according to my sources, because Chinese mines, they are in a lake. Okay, they're brine mine, and then the lake are frozen for the winter. So my understanding, they won't come back online until April the earliest, probably May of this year. Okay, so we have this window, and there absolutely is no supply, and demand is going through roof because all the companies that they're planning to manufacture electrical cars for 2016, they're looking for their source, right? So and lithium itself is only about 2% of lithium battery. So lithium can go a lot higher, right, without really impacting the demand. So that's a perfect thesis, a perfect storm. Okay, I mean, I was talking to all the different people. There's some very well-known people in this field. They say, "Oh, lithium is hype." My understanding is not hype. It's a real thing. It's a real deal, and it will last at least probably for a couple of years because that's what it takes to build a mine. You need a mine response. So I started investing in lithium, about almost a week, a little bit over a week ago. Well, one stock, traded it today actually already up, keep going up every day, 5-10%, almost up 25, almost 30%, just in the past few years. Even the market was down so much. So I tell you, invest in something good, it makes me, happy. But there's also other stock actually went up much more. There's a company in juniors in Australia that was six-folded. I think I checked last night. It was just amazing. It's
in the last couple of weeks, Chen? In the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, last couple of weeks. It's crazy. Unfortunately, I didn't climb that horse. That was a little bit too risky for me. I think from 2 cents to 12 cents, but it's a huge volume. Well, anyway, but bottom line, I just want back to, I think it's a sustainable thesis. Okay, lithium battery demand is going through the roof. Not just Tesla, but all the other companies, they're doing, they're using the zero emission cars, the electrical cars, and then so on and so forth, and then also phones, right? Phones, iPads. So, and then lithium itself, it doesn't cost a lot in the lithium battery, it costs very little. So actually that can drive. So I think it has legs, and I'm quite glad I was able to ride this way up.
Well, Chen, I can understand why some people think it's a hype story, because I think at times in the past, lithium has been a hype story. I've known junior mining companies out of Canada, out of Vancouver, for example, that had lithium projects, and the whole longer-term thesis was, look, we're going to clean energy, Tesla, the batteries, all that sort of thing that you're talking about. But one of the things that I think really has helped you do extremely well is the timing. So it's not, it's you can be right, but it's the timing that matters, and your insights, and I think your your connections in China, for example, have helped you pinpoint the timing that now is the time to jump on this thesis. It might not have been a year or 2 or 3 years ago. You'd be sitting with dead money or losing money if you were in these mining stocks, right?
Yeah, exactly. The reason is I put in my outlook, right? Lithium price was flat for the past 5 years, maybe up like 5-10%, but for junior it's a dead money, and then they keep raising money, each share, all these junior go down, right? But right now, recently, it's triple, quadruple, just in a few weeks. Just think about the demand, supply demand, story. It's so tight. Because, it just in the winter, no lithium, the brine line couldn't come online, and then there's a shortage of lithium right now, and then all the battery maker are begging for lithium everywhere.
All right. Well, timing is is as important as the thesis. So it's both. I mean, I can look back at the examples I just gave with respect to the Chilean earthquake, but also Farmer Mac. And you didn't have a lot of time to jump onto Farmer Mac before the markets finally realized, but you were first, or one of the earliest people to realize there was an opportunity and an arbitrage or a profit-making opportunity in that market. You've done very well. Or maybe before we go on to the next topic, I'd just like to ask you, is there a name or two that you would share with our listeners, Chen, in this clean energy space?
Right. Listen, there's a pure play, and they're wrapping up their mine, ORL, that's in Toronto, ORE in Australia. That has been the hot stock. I mean, it went up 25, 30%, but they're building one of the largest mine, lithium mine on Earth, and they're ramping up very nicely. So it's a newcomer. But there's also other plays, the Western Lithium, WLC, I mean, that's in Canadian market. That hasn't moved much yet. But there are also other major players, but they are not pure lithium players. So there are a few other. I mean, my point, we discussed that. I want to cherry pick the best one, with the best catalyst, and who can benefit the most from the current lithium situation.
All right. You've done really well in the biotech space, and I must say a couple of the ideas that you've passed along to your readers are really exciting. And you've talked about them before on this show. Sorrento Therapeutics, it's moved up a lot since you first recommended it. It's around $38 today, I think, when I looked at it. Trades in the United States under the symbol SRPT. Talk to us a little bit about Sorrento, and is there a chance that we might see another big move in this stocks anytime soon, Chen?
Yeah, they have a big catalyst, which is a FDA final, advisory committee and its approval. So it will happen in a couple of weeks. The 22nd of this month will be the meeting. Actually, I was invited to attend because the reason is I've been helping the company for so long. When the company was in single digit, I call my senator, call my representative, and then we call for donations, which I personally did. Donate time and effort and money into the cause. So they are really very close to the finish line. Okay, I hope they will get approval, in the next few weeks. That will be the key. But from a trading perspective, we made so much on this. I'm up and down. Recently, you can see the chart from like 20 to 40 twice. Right, I was able to buy, the swing at 20 and then sell at 40. Almost 40 or almost twice, think about double your money twice in a row. And that's only in like a couple of months. So I'm kind of waiting for the next, hopefully there's another dip before the approval. So most likely will be what they call it a briefing document, right? The 2 days before the outcome, there will be a briefing document which come out on Wednesday. So they usually will be negative. I would think they will be negative. I've been talking to all the other, because FDA don't want all the people coming to do their accelerated approval, right? I mean, the story of that I go long time ago. We discussed many times. I also did in my other interviews. I mean, because FDA didn't like them at the beginning, and then only political pressure forced them to accept, to take a look. So, I mean, they will still come. I think they will still come negative, and then there could be buying opportunity, because it's only, we know that I follow this company for so many years. I know that it's only political pressure that pushed the FDA over the edge. So So
All
I
right,
think
so
that will be a final push.
So Chen, are you so sort of sitting back and waiting for the chance to buy this stock below $38, low
Oh
30s in the
yeah,
20s or something like that?
hopefully low 30s. I mean, I still own my core position. I've been holding a position throughout the few years, and from a few dollar now to third. So I also have been, telling my subscriber and kind of swing trade, when there's opportunity, because it's so volatile. When they drop hard, you buy, right? And then when they bounce back, you sell. So that's my multiple strategy on this stock. And right now, I'm waiting for the opportunity to buy some more.
All right, and this is really a story where boys with a certain kind of muscular dystrophy, it's a drug that can really cure them or help them very substantially, right?
Yeah, exactly. And they have
young boys.
Young boys. I mean, they lost the ability to walk, and then the muscle decay to their lung, and then they cannot breathe. I mean, they die in their 20s. Terrible, terrible disease. The problem is that it's so slow progress. It takes like a few years to really see the effectiveness of this drug. I mean, this one we already have over 3 years has been very effective. The really political issue, I mean, that's really hanging. There is a bill passed by the Congress 3 years ago for the accelerated approval, and FDA hasn't taken on that. They don't want to follow the new rule. They just want to do their old way. But do the old way, do another phase 3, take another 3-4 years, and how many kids has to die? Right?
Yeah.
That's really the crucial point of this drug candidate, and that's why I was so passionate in supporting it. And and I'm going to the AdCom to see, hopefully, to witness their final approval. And then we'll meet the champion Jen and her two sons Max. That one son in a wheelchair already. Because we didn't have to go to a trial. When go to a trial, it's still like a normal kids. I'm going to see them. I'm quite excited about that.
Well, you should put those people, those young kids, in front of the FDA people and let them see firsthand what their decisions mean.
We will.
Well,
I mean, just look into their eyes. Are you going to issue a death sentence to those kids? Right? I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah, and do you think, Chen, it might have to do with the establishment wanting to maintain, that is, competitive drugs and so on and so forth? Do you think that's what's going on, or is that just my speculation, paranoia?
I'm not quite sure. I gave FDA the benefit of doubt, but what I see is FDA doesn't want to change. They have their way of doing business. You do all these phase 1, 2, 3, and then they come to me and I issue approval, decline. And this company, they have 1, 2. And then Congress ask for approval. Even there's a new law telling them they need to look at it. They say, no, it's not enough. No, you have this problem. They just try to pick them.
Yeah.
That's
Chen, with just a minute or two left, another name in the biotech space that's extremely exciting and one that I've told my subscribers about that came to my attention through you is Sorrento Therapeutics. With just a minute and a half or so left, what do you like about Sorrento? Why is that one of your favorites as well?
Yeah, right now it's my top holding in biotech. The reason is they have some incredible pipeline. There's some incredible technology that can revolutionize cancer killing. But nobody recognizes that. The market doesn't recognize. I saw that. I went to the company. I saw it myself, in my own eye. I went to, there's the people, expert also went to the company. I talked to them, each of them afterwards. This is a real deal and real exciting stuff, and then people don't recognize. The market doesn't recognize. I'm buying that, right? And then they have very, very strong balance sheet. Their cash and short-term investment about $4, and then they have 1.2 billion pipeline milestone coming. I mean, the market cap is like 300 million. It's joke. What a joke. So that just market is completely caught off sleep of this company. But there's a very exciting thing coming this year. My understanding is next week, it's JP Morgan conference. There got to be some announcement. They have a research report of Sorrento, which analysts already say they will have a major announcement before that, which is next week. So I'm quite excited. I'm looking forward to see what they're going to announce.
Well, it's certainly we'll be watching that one very closely, and I know that one of the ideas, I believe, or one of the technologies they may be on the verge of is being able to deliver their their medicines inside the cell, Chen. Is that right? And rather than just outside of the cell and on, in the and on the membrane of the cell.
Right. It's antibody inside the cell, right? You put all these Humira, all these blockbuster drug, right? That's all these antibody. But so far, all we can do, all the mankind right now can do is outside the cell. You have some target outside for arthritis, for cancer, for all these things. But they have a new technology can bring the antibody inside the cell. That's the key. Actually, I just did an interview. It's supposed to be published very soon. I hope it's this week or something before the conference. I mean, that there's a review of, including myself, a few other, of course, much more qualified people than me to discuss this exciting technology. This one can break the whole kind of hope for human race. This can potentially win the Nobel Prize if it's successful. But right now, nobody cares. The market doesn't care because, they just think they're so joke. But it's not. It's not. I checked with many sources. It's not joke. It's real stuff. So that's why I'm excited.
All right, Chen. Well, for good reason, too. And those of you listening out there should listen carefully to what Chen has to say, because he does a lot of hard work and research before he puts his money into these deals. And I know when he really latches onto something like he has with Sorrento and Sarepta and others as well, that there's a good reason to pay some attention to it. So thank you. We're out of time, Chen. Thank you so much for being with us, and let's do it more often, okay?
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it.